Welcome back to Drunk Storytime with Quefish. I am Quefish. So this one is going to be one of Chamyl's chapters from Not That Bad When You Get Used to It. This is a... don't ask me what their Discord is because I don't know. But Chamyl and Macaulay are in a Discord, I think, where they get weekly prompts for weird ass shit. And this one is like a sister chapter to the one I read in the last video, the interns. So this one is interesting internships. The prompt was, Heaven and Hell headquarters get some interesting paperwork about the actions of an angel and a demon. Just as a warning, there's form names in here. Okay, and anyone who's ever filled out a form for like the IRS or some shit, it's like 17,000 letters long with letters and numbers. And I'm probably not going to read the whole thing. But, sorry. Shazaquiel spun in his swivel chair until the large white office around him turned into a cold, empty blur. Such a pity he couldn't get dizzy like a human would. That would have at least been interesting. And a nice change from the constant, deadly boredom that had been keeping him in its grip for thousands of years now. Would you stop that, please? Asked the angel sitting next to him, his long chestnut hair tied neatly in a perfectly round bun at the nape of his neck. Somebody here has to get the job done. Shazaquiel sighed. Don't start that again, Zach. I already told you I got this internship just like you did. He started counting on his fingers as he spoke. I had to apply, wait 500 million years for my form to be processed, turn in my hoverboard proficiency diploma. Those hoverboard angels drive me nuts. They're just so serious. Take the infinite choice test, get through the interview across all states of matter, then finally, his colleague interrupted him by tapping loudly on the screen, on the spot where the notifications had kept rolling in while Shazaquiel was talking. Something is happening, Shaz. Look here. Shaz did. The Principality of Aziraphale was at it again. Materialize. Luxor Lube, 200 milliliter bottle, in bookshop. Move. Chocolates from Delicious Sin Bakery, London, to bookshop. Materialize. 200 pounds in Delicious Sin Bakery, London. Change. Temperature from 20 Celsius to 29.5 Celsius in bookshop. I'm a dumb American. I don't know what that means. Oh, that doesn't mean anything. I almost didn't do that on purpose. Shaz grunted. Sorry, that doesn't mean anything, Shaz grunted as he shot himself in his chair backwards into the disquietingly empty space of their office. So the Principality is jerking off again. Big deal. He's done that very often in the last 6,000 years, you know. I wonder what that feels like. Zach seemed to utter to himself, his eyes eagerly glued to the screen. Yeah, well, get in line. We all do. I love that. Shaz replied, fidgeting with his mother-of-pearl earring. Angels get earrings, but they aren't allowed to masturbate? But we'll never find out because getting a corporation requires Form Fabli, and Form... Zach cut him off. And Shaz rolled his eyes. But I think it's different this time. If you could just... Zach reached out to grab Shaz's chair by the armrest and roll him closer again, ignoring his colleague's indignant yelp. Look, why would he raise the temperature in his shop? 'Cause he's cold? Shaz suggested, shrugging. Who cares? But he never does this. Not even when he's having some alone time, right? What if he has company this time? Shaz looked from his colleague to the screen and back again, eyes narrowing. Keep talking. Maybe it's somebody who suffers from the cold much more than he does. Or, he continued in a much lower voice, he'd like his guest to take off some layers. Just saying. Oh, that is wicked, Shaz commented quietly with a smirk on his face, and then loudly as he turned back towards the empty room. And we strongly condemn this immoral behavior if that is indeed the case. When the next notification popped in, they both jumped. Delete. Dust in bedroom in big shop. Big shop? Bookshop. It's not a lighter company. Big shop. That wasn't funny, but... He's bringing someone upstairs, Shaz shouted, standing up so fast his chair fell backwards. I told you, Zach shouted back as he began tapping furiously on his keyboard. Let me pull up the list of humans he's talked to in the last week. Oh, these guys just have no idea. Shaz looked at Zach with a new feeling of admiration. Maybe his companion wasn't as boring and uptight as he thought. It's always the quiet ones. Change. Bed frame capacity from 500 pounds to 50,000 pounds in bookshop. So either he's about to get vigorous or he's inviting somebody very large. Like a Lovecraftian creature. What? They exclaimed at the same time, then looked at each other. That could only mean one thing. The Principality's lover couldn't be a human. Even two clueless minor angels like them knew that if the Principality's bed frame was being altered to hold so much force, it couldn't possibly be for a weak mortal paramour. But then who? No other angel is currently stationed down on Earth, Zach commented as he checked the database, filtered for location Earth, and looked at a desolate list containing one single angel by the name of Aziraphale. So who? No! Shaz gasped, a hand flying to cover his mouth, his long golden locks framing his face and making him look like the main subject of a neoclassical painting, rather than an underpaid intern who'd just found something that'd keep him entertained for ages. You don't mean... It can't be. Oh, but it has to be, Zach replied with a sly smile, pulling out of his drawer a blood-red folder that had only 2 words on the cover. Demon Crowley. He dropped it on the desk with a dramatic flair that Shaz couldn't blame him for. They had to milk this for all it was worth. It couldn't be anyone else. Shaz scrambled for Zach's phone, frantically pushing it in his hands. Call your connection downstairs. We have to know. I can't call her, Zach protested. I haven't talked to her since, the whole thing with Lucifer and a bunch of angels losing quite a few benefits. This is an emergency, Zach, Shaz said, putting his hands on his colleague's shoulder. We absolutely, urgently, undeferrably need to know if the Principality is bunking a demon. Is bunking a demon. Fine, Zach replied, tapping on his phone and putting the call on speakerphone. But only because I'm surprised you'd know what undeferrably even means. Oh, hey, Sam? It's me, Zachiel. Fuck you want? Asked the angry voice on the other end of the line. You don't call for thousands of years and decide to disturb me the moment I finally have something interesting going on? So glad to hear you too, Sam. Listen, I heard you got an internship filtering notifications from the demon Crowley. Is that true? None of your business, Skittle. I had a coworker years ago, and his nickname was Skittle. I'm not going to tell you why. Zach groaned at the old nickname, but pressed on. Because if you are, we suspect something is happening between him and the principality, Sam replied. Her interest suddenly piqued. Thank you so much for spelling that right. So many people get that one wrong. She cleared her throat and then very obviously tried to take her enthusiasm down several notches. Well, no shit, Sherlock. What have you got? Lube, chocolates, clean bedroom, unexplained change of temperature in the bookshop, enormous change of how much weight his bed frame can bear. Zach listed and exchanged glances with Shaz when they both heard the demon on the phone making an intrigued noise. What about you, Sam? Lube, chocolates, perfect coif. Unexplained miracle to make his clothes tighter, and he's altered some anonymous mattress to bear considerably more weight than it did 10 minutes ago, she explained. There were a few seconds of silence as they all did the math in their heads. Shaz spoke first. Let's forget about the double lube and chocolates for a moment. Correct me if I'm wrong, but if they reinforce the bed frame and reinforce the mattress, added Sam from the phone, but did not reinforce... Zach couldn't even finish that sentence before a new bunch of notifications start dropping in. Protect, corporation, anonymous, in bookshop. Protect, corporation, own, in bookshop. Delete, rubble, in bookshop. Materialize, new floor, in bedroom, in bookshop. Restore, ground floor, time minus 30 minutes, in bookshop. Move bed from ground floor to bedroom in bookshop. They fucked through the floor, Shaz said slowly. Zach nodded. So they did. Sam, what do you see? Master Crowley also protected himself and an anonymous corporation. Also his hair. The demon replied. I can't believe these two idiots, Zach sighed. Shaz sat back in his chair and put his feet up on the desk. Two idiots who were getting laid, though, and neither Zach nor Sam had anything to say about that. They all stayed quiet as they watched the rest of the notifications rolling in little by little. Materialize, bottle of wine, in bookshop. Delete, rug burn on knees, anonymous, in bookshop. Change, fix hair, anonymous, in bookshop. Delete, fluids on hands, own, in bookshop. Materialize, tartan blanket, in bookshop. Gift, the best possible dreams, anonymous, in bookshop. Oh my god. They fucked through the floor. God, that's so fucking funny. I can't stand it. Silly boys. So, that one was by Chamyl, and I'm at about 15 minutes now. So I'm going to go to the next video. You're gonna want to join me for the next one, and definitely the next one after that. I just realized that my little squishy penis is in my frame. I don't know why I bought these, but I bought like 10 of them, and I just started giving them out to friends. And they're just little squishies with little eyeballs on them. And he's just cute. I think I'll call him Gerald. So, Gerald can go over there. You never would have realized that was a penis. So, yeah. Anyway, thanks for joining me. I'll see you in the next one.